What makes an enabling environment? We asked the consumers, Aisha and Ellie May, to take us on a tour of what's important to them in theirs at Oakwood Primary in Leeds.
These are the mirrors that you can see yourself in. This is where you sit and you chill. On the chair. That's where you play in the play area. John, do we work on that? And you can make things. And we can just make things out of there. We can make a boat or a rocket or a car. This is where you go in the pen, do this in between it. See what you are doing at time. You can see yourself. And these are just all the ornaments what we make. That is the ballet project. Ballet is like this. Ballet is like this, where ballet is like that. And I'm big like that when I'm 5. Yes, and I am 5. Same age. Play. Band, sing, every single day. And we can dance every single day. Yeah, we could do ballet dancing. Like this. This is where you play the sound with a space. White and toilets there, washing your hands. This is where we have the garden. R-S-T-U-V. You have to be really careful.
From September 2008, the Early Years Foundation stage changes. New principles are to guide the work of all practitioners. One principle is around enabling environments, the environment playing a key role in supporting and extending children's development and learning.
I think the physical environment has a really positive spin-off. The children feel comfortable to explore. They know that they can go anywhere they like. They know they can find those familiar places. They can revisit them and they can go with their friends or they can go on their own. And that's the same inside and outside.
Everything's accessible. There is nothing out of bounds for children, so therefore they can find their own secure place where they can perform, sit with a friend, where they can paint or play.
I think we've tried to make places as well where they feel they can go to just to chat and to form those relationships that are so important.
I think space is key to children and learning, because if you want children to be expressive, you have to give them the space to do that. We have made certain changes to the environment in the terms of removing doors and opened it all up to create the unit. We've also made sure that equipment that is in the foundation stage is specialist equipment designed to enhance the experience for children.
I do worry about rearing a cohort of institutionalised children. And I think we have a big challenge to humanise our schools, to deinstitutionalise them, and the way space is used to try and bring in this sense of a little bit of home into the setting, which can be done through furnishings and colours and fabrics and flowers and smells and those kinds of things. So I think this whole notion of enabling environment is complex. We need to think it through, and it shapes the learning processes and interactions that go on within it.
EYFS encourages settings to develop their outdoor learning environment, and the children at Oakwood have been designing and are now to paint decorative pipes. Only real gloss paint will survive a Leeds winter.
Any colour you like, we're just going to make it look nice and colourful.
I do think we're in danger in this modern world of getting obsessed with risk and safety. But I do think that there is a danger that we wrap them up in cotton wool.
Oh, that looks good, doesn't it?
I mixed blue and green.
All children need to have challenges, they need to be taken outside their comfort zones. I think the one thing we know is we will never get original thinking or original actions if children aren't prepared to take a risk.
Oh, fabulous. And Paige said about kangaroo. You'll do that?
Part of the Enabling Environments principle in EYFS is to support every child on a personalised learning journey. Over a term ago, 5-year-old Paige sparked an interest in ballet, which still continues to inspire many children. Today, practitioners and children are planning together, and to the practitioners' surprise, the budding dancers want to make ballerina cakes.
Oh, and the teachers could make the princess. Oh, I like the sound of that.
Ballerina buns.
Ballerina
Cakes.
Yes, they sound good. With treacle.
Ballerina sugar in that.
Ballerina sugar in that.
Then eggs. Then mix it up.
If you look well into the statutory curriculum, it's saying that the curriculum should be shaped around the child.
That's a really good idea.
We have to make them when we're doing the buns.
We have to make it. Oh.
So do you mean as we're making the buns, we need to write down what we're putting in? Is that what you mean?
Oh, well, it's a good job we've got Mrs. Birdsall here.
Every child is unique. Every child comes with competencies. They come with their own enthusiasms, their own interests, their own passions. And the job of the skillful practitioner is to tune themselves into that in a very individual way.
Flowers.
Oh, yeah, we said flower.
No, I said flowers.
We can put
Flowers. Real flowers like that.
Yeah.
Inside our cake mix.
Yeah. No, because it smells like perfume.
Oh,
said
right.
smell like-
Well, I don't know if you can eat any flowers, Mrs. Ahmed. We might have to find it out.
Roses.
No.
Have you tried that at home then?
Well, I've learnt something new. I'll check that out on the internet then, Erin, this afternoon. Shall we do that?
Because we're not always sure what is going to come up in a project meeting, we have to be quite flexible, and we have to record what the children say and what the children do, and look for the gaps afterwards if there are any gaps.
Oh, that was gorgeous.
We've got a special board where we record the things that have come from the children.
It was felt that to have a more visual effect on the planning meant that any member of staff, any visitor, any parents can see openly what we are trying to achieve with these children and how we're using that knowledge to move their children forward.
If you take a list
Yes,
from
I
here of
will.
what they've said.
EYFS talks about enabling environments being emotionally supportive too, reviewing the planning daily and making a positive response to children's ideas promotes this directly.
Well, one of the key things for me was when Erin was talking about making a cookery book. She said, all of us, we could make our own cookery books.
We could get parents involved with that.
Yeah.
And recipes from home, from lots of different
That'd be
cultures.
absolutely brilliant.
I don't think that a personalised learning journey means that practitioners shouldn't plan. I think they should plan, but they should plan based on what they know about that child. The skill of the job is to shape and scaffold that in certain directions that maybe you need to go. But like all of these things, it's a balance.
The next day, an area has been created for cake making, proof to the children that their ideas influence the learning environment.
Now, what do you think we should put in first?
Egg.
OK, then, your choice. Would you like to crack them into the bowl? Would you like to? You can if you want. It's your cake.
I love them.
Yes? Right, come on then. Samir, have you ever cracked an egg before? No, it's a first for Samir. Oh, it's cracking. Right, now you have to stick your fingers where it's cracked and empty it into the bowl. Push your finger in. Oh, it's coming out, I can see. How many eggs did Samir say we should have? 2. Right, I see Jodie, would you like to break the second egg? Gently. Ooh. You'll hear the sound change. Oh, I heard it change. Well done. A bit more, do you think? Good girl. Right, do it over the bowl.
The new learning area gives new opportunities for observation and assessment.
you have to open it a bit more, Jodie? No, is it coming? Just give it a shake. Oh, wow. Did you see it come out then? Yeah. Right, shall we put the shell away?
We observe children in lots of different ways, and obviously it's very important to listen to children. We're able to take photographs, make notes, not just on an individual basis, but I think it's very important to document what children are learning in the group together. From that, we're able to make judgments about what their level of understanding is, which we can transfer into their individual profiles.
And Erin?
Large.
That was very clear, Erin. Now, we have to try and get this into there.
First of all, the children need to know that they've got permission to respond in an individual way. The physical environment has to enable that through providing lots of different varieties of materials from which the child can select to make their own responses. And if you do that, you will never ever get two cakes decorated the same, because there's no two children the same.
Wow, that's good. You just made
And what are these bits for?
What about those?
What are you going to do with that? Lovely, that looks really nice.
It's like the dress.
Beautiful.
When I go into classrooms where I see difference, that's a real good indication for me that the practitioners are seeing the children as individuals.
Oh, you couldn't resist, I saw you.
The new EYFS takes as a commitment delivering the outcomes of Every Child Matters well beyond early years. At Oakwood, this means getting the rest of the school ready for the children who have been encouraged to be individual and independent learners.
The focus of education can often become about reading and writing and bringing in new strategies for getting children to take on board sounds and literacy and numeracy. But this school has always believed that the core curriculum is the PSHCE curriculum, and that permeates the whole school.
Kangaroo. So can you all jump up and down like a kangaroo?
And it's our greatest challenge to take the approach that we've managed to establish in the foundation stage throughout the school. But this school has long held a belief that every child is unique, and throughout the school I would hope you could see that approach to all children.
I wonder what they're going to taste like.
Oh, I wonder. I've been thinking about this all day.
Oh, wow.
What does it taste like, Erin?
Sticky.
One of the advantages of the EYFS is that we are now thinking about a continuous process. So transition, continuity, we do need to think about it quite sharply. I do believe the new framework helps us with that tremendously. And I recognise it's not easy, but if we really have the child's well-being at our hearts, we have to keep working at that.
What's special about yours?
The earrings.
Do you know, I remember yesterday you were saying about the earrings, weren't you?